Am I the asshole for not wanting to let my husband use our only car to run an urgent errand? My husband and I both have our own cars. 3 days ago, he dropped his car off at the shop to get hail damage repairs done, so we both are stuck with just my car until his car is fixed. We were told it'd take about 1 week. Fast forward to yesterday, he got news that his parents got in a car crash on their daily drive. They have another car at home, but the check engine light is on. His parents called him to ask him to come over to their house to discuss what to do next. I was not aware of this arrangement. This morning around 11 a.m. my husband asked me if he could take my car to go to his parents and told me about the arrangement he had planned yesterday. I told him sure, but can he go ASAP, like right away, because I do have plans to run some errands with the car this afternoon. He told me he can't go until 1 p.m. because his parents aren't home right now, that they are probably out eating lunch at a restaurant somewhere. I wasn't a fan of this answer, but he kept saying it will be super quick and he'll be back within the hour. He took my car around 1 p.m. Around 2 p.m. I texted him asking if he's on the way home yet. He texted back saying he is. 30 minutes have lapsed and I don't see him back, so I called to ask. Turns out he still hasn't left his parents at this time. When I told him I need my car, he brushed me off quickly, saying he's helping his parents with something else and that it's urgent, and hung up on me. I waited another close to half an hour and called the second time, and he still hasn't left. This time I got impatient and told him I need my car now. He called me selfish. He said his parents' issue was more important and mine was just to go get groceries and that I could just wait. I told him it's not that I mind that he's using my car to go to his parents. The problem that I have is the timing of it all. I got told last minute he needs my car when I already have plans to use it, and then was lied to many times about him being quick and coming home when he hasn't even left. And when he finally left, he's pissed that I am rushing him home. In my defense, I told him if it was such an urgent issue, maybe his parents should have been home and available earlier in the day instead of going out for lunch until 1 p.m. I told him I'm seriously mad at him and he is brushing me off, and even said, "You act like a child just because you don't get what you want right when you want it." So Reddit, am I the asshole or is he? Edit. The urgent errand he did for his parents was to meet them up to discuss what car they should buy next and how they will afford it. His parents don't have a lot of money, so they need our help in taking out a loan to buy their next car. Edit 2. Some of you asked what my errand was. I needed to go grocery shopping so I could start meal prepping for the week. I usually don't have a lot of time during the weekdays because my work takes a lot out of me by the end of the day, so I don't have the energy and time to grocery shop, plus spend 2-3 hours after that to cook. Sunday is the only other day I have the capacity to do these errands if I didn't already do it Saturday. Edit 3. For those suggesting that my husband is trying to do shady stuff with our finances or he's potentially doing something questionable, I can assure you this is not the case. Turns out he was being held back by his mom, who needed help with other things. His parents are needy because they are immigrants and English is not their first language. And instead of apologizing to me for being late, he lashed out at me because his mother usually stresses him out when they are together. Not the asshole at all. Your husband has been lying to you all day in order to use your car when it's most convenient for him and his parents, and disregarding you and your plans. Then he called you selfish for wanting to use your own car at a time you'd previously told him you needed it and he'd agreed to have it back to you by? I'm an internet stranger and I'm furious about this. Not the asshole talking about a loan is something he could have done over a Zoom call. Not the asshole. That is your vehicle. Why were you not involved in the arrangements, since your vehicle is the only reliable transport? Why did you not know what errand he needed to do with his parents? Your husband sounds terrible at communicating. And telling you it's been an hour and him blowing that off also isn't okay. If this is all true, not the asshole, this is all very strange to me. Super urgent, but his parents were at lunch? Over a loan? A conversation you couldn't join? About finances you will be on the hook for as his wife? What toff? Am I the only one who thinks the parents needing help with the loan is all kinds of red flags? If the parents were in a car crash, there should be insurance dollar coming in to help. If they didn't have insurance, that's even worse. Boyfriend was selfish and a liar. Not the asshole. TBH, his whole story sounds janky. I'm sure the parents' accident is verifiable, but everything after that rings false. They just had to meet on a Sunday to figure out what to do about money to get a replacement car. No banks or insurance companies that I know have Sunday hours. He's pissed because you kept interrupting something. Info. So let me get this straight. They have a working car beyond the one from the accident? They went out to eat for lunch, so it wasn't a need to do it right now thing? Your husband is planning to help with the loan for his parents' car without talking to you? Are you two financially combined? Even if not, this would be something you talk about since it could still affect you both. Why didn't you just go with your husband? Drop him off with his parents, then do your shopping while he helped them. Not the asshole. He's being rude and they are needy. Am I the asshole for upstaging my friend? I, 17F, and my friend, 16F, Katie, have been best friends since 4th grade. Katie recently started dating her boyfriend, 17M, Jack. Katie and Jack are both relatively popular at school, or at least I think so. They're both part of theater and are generally known for doing gushy scenes in plays together. They've been dating for about 3 months and have been acting together for 2 years. I've always been more of a stage crew gal, and occasionally hair and makeup. This year we're doing The Little Mermaid and I really wanted the lead. Katie's on crutches with a broken foot, so I figured I might finally have a chance. She's a really great actor and I know I never would have been able to beat her. I auditioned and got Ariel. Jack got Prince Eric. When Katie found out, she flipped out on me and Jack in a huge public meltdown, claiming that I was upstaging her and trying to get with Jack. She accused me of being jealous of she and Jack from the start and trying to work my slutty magic on him while she wouldn't be around. She told me I was too fat for Jack, that I could never be her, and that I would always be a worthless backstabbing nobody. Katie then blamed me for forcing her to make an ass of herself in front of the entire department. She's never blown up at me like that before and is generally mature when we rarely disagree, so I feel like I'm missing something. I was really hurt, super taken aback and humiliated. I didn't think I'd done anything wrong and I still don't. It wasn't even like I had to kiss Jack or anything like that, just some duets and flirting between the characters. I'm not interested in Jack and I'm not very close with him either. I've been nothing but supportive since the start of their relationship. I feel kinda bad because I did snatch the spotlight the moment she was unavailable, but I really wanted the part. I seriously wasn't trying to steal him, I got my part first. How was I supposed to know he'd get Prince Eric? Katie forced Jack to step aside from his role and he ended up replaced. Jack blames me for costing him his part even though he stepped aside himself. Neither are speaking to me and a lot of the other actors, crew are siding with them both. Just about everyone is being catty and petty to me on and off set. The only friends I had were Katie and the stage crew and they've all dropped me. I've spoken to my teacher and he hasn't taken much action. He tells me that it's just drama, and that everyone will move on soon, as well as meditating a few arguments between myself and Jack. I have half the mind to give up my own part after all this just to get away from it all. Katie blocked me on everything and hasn't spoken a word to me since. I'm really lost and have zero clue what I did wrong. Am I the asshole? Update. Katie sent me some Instagram paragraphs and screenshots. The paragraphs were basically her profusely apologizing and telling me I'm the best thing she'd ever had. She said I'm like a sister to her, despite leaving me soon after we started HS. Katie still insists that I'm copying her and that I'm stealing her thing. She said it's okay though and that she knows what it's like to want to be just like someone else, basically pitying me. When I sent some paragraphs of my own rejecting her apology and ending our friendship, she took all her words back and showed me screenshots of the department mocking me in various GCs posts, saying, "This is how everyone really feels. It's water off my back and I'm going to play a kick-ass Ariel. Not the asshole, don't drop the part, or everything would have been for nothing. Knock the role out of the park instead and keep on taking roles you want." Katie was never a friend if this is her reaction. Not the asshole. Katie sounds like one of those friends who befriends others who they perceive as beneath them in order to make themselves look better. It's a power play by a fundamentally insecure person who was only friends as long as you were her supporting cast. You're the star in your own life, not some extra brought on to make someone else look good. Keep the role, rock it like a diva, and find new friends. Not the asshole. You did nothing wrong. Katie seems like a very jealous person for begrudging you the part when she was ill, and a very controlling one for manipulating Jack into stepping aside and placing the blame on you. Katie isn't the sort of friend you need or should want in your life if she can ruin it for you the first time you got anywhere near your spotlight. Not the asshole. Don't worry, you're good. Your friends, however, are definitely TAs. Like seriously, you get Ariel and you get harassed for it? Makes no sense. And everyone agrees with her. Now that's just dumb. I honestly can't believe everyone else in the cast took her side. But don't worry, you're not the asshole here. Not the asshole, y'all are young and they're just acting like toddlers. Unless you think this friendship is going to last the rest of your life, let it roll off and find better friends. Also, he chose to step aside probably cause your friend there screamed at him lol. Not the asshole. Just remember that one day, HS will end. Do what you will remember fondly, like the play, and know that one day the bullshit you dealt with won't mean shit. Not the asshole sounds like your friend is insecure about her relationship and pissed about not being the center of attention when she's used to it. It probably also doesn't help that she's injured and probably in pain and tired from using crutches she's not used to. That being said, those things are not your fault, and you deserve a chance in the spotlight as much as she does. Her boyfriend's logic also makes no sense, they certainly deserve each other. Just try to enjoy what's left of this school experience because you will miss it when it's gone, and have fun working on a new skill. Not the asshole, and holy crap. I'm sorry your friends are such jerks. Would I be the asshole if I tell my best friend that my fiancé and I can't hang out with her boyfriend anymore? Me, 28 female, and my best friend, 27 female, have been extremely close friends ever since high school, 11 years. We have both been in each other's lives for traumas that happened to each other and past relationships that we've been through. I love her very much, which is why I am getting to the point of being so absolutely heartbroken. When my best friend first met her boyfriend, I was with my ex-husband at the time, around 8 years ago. She had just gotten out of a really heartbreaking relationship, and the guy she is dating became a strong rock for her while I couldn't because I was in a different country for a few years. I put boyfriend and dating in quotation marks as because after 8 years he still can't commit to her. I was accepting of her, hoping that one day he was going to finally make a decision on her. I tried on numerous occasions to build a relationship with him because I want to help him sort through his so that they can finally be together. While I was with my ex, one of the reasons he's my ex, my relationship with my best friend and her boyfriend was limited to texting and rarely hanging out because my ex absolutely hated her boyfriend for his very cocky attitude. He's afraid to admit that he doesn't know something and bursts out in like a 5-year-old if something doesn't go his way. Now my current relationship with my fiancé, I've been able to rekindle a relationship with my best friend again and be a little bit more in the presence of her relationship. At first my fiancé understood the situation, but he too now absolutely hates her boyfriend for the exact same reason, and quite frankly putting up with him not being able to give her the love she deserves is getting to the point where I absolutely can't take it anymore. I genuinely want to throw up thinking about it. For context, the main reason my best friend's boyfriend can't commit to her is because his family is Jewish and my best friend is not. He is the last son on his father's will because all of his siblings have chosen to do something with their life that his father doesn't approve of. My best friend loves him so much, and she feels like she can't emotionally leave him because she feels guilty for leaving him being depressed, and neither of them can effectively let go of each other. I don't feel like I can keep hanging out with her while he is around. I understand how detrimental it could be when you're with someone that your friends hate and you feel like they just don't understand, and I really don't want to hurt her like that. Although I feel like I just need to get it off my chest that I no longer support them being together. I just need to know if I'm being an asshole because I need to tell her that I don't want to be around him anymore and I don't support them, or should I just keep swallowing my feelings and be supportive of her until something happens in her relationship? Edit 1. I think the way I worded the original post could use some clarification. By commitment to her, I did not mean marriage, I meant committed relationship, by however they want to define it together. She wants him to be her boyfriend, he chooses when he is. Also, she's not happy about the arrangement. It hurts her deeply because she feels like she's been waiting for him to choose her for 8 years now. You are the asshole, it's not your relationship. If your friend wants to be with him even if they don't get married, that is her decision. If you can't accept that, then your friend doesn't need you in her life. I could be wrong, but I am not sure this is really the kind of issue for this subreddit. You might get better advice, feedback from our relationship advice or something. My take is you get to set your boundaries, express your opinions, kindly, and choose who you spend your time with. You don't get to pick who your friends date. And you might do irreparable damage to your friendship by choosing that hill. Light, you are the asshole if your fiancé doesn't like the guy so they don't have to hang out. I also don't understand why you would ruin a long friendship because a guy can't commit to your friend. Isn't that her choice to stay with him or break up with him? I don't see how it affects you besides for not liking him. So don't hang out with him? You are the asshole. Marriage and commitment aren't the same thing at all. You were married for how long to your ex before the commitment didn't mean anything? She isn't asking your blessing for her non-relationship, so stay out of it. If you really can't handle being around him, tell her you hate watching how he treats her and you'd prefer to hang out with her alone. Not the asshole. This is a tough one. I'm going with you or the asshole, but like a feather light one. Telling her you won't hang out with her boyfriend, while she's already struggling with this relationship, is adding insult to injury. Be there for her as much as you can. Based on your other comments, that is not even your friend's boyfriend? He literally dates other people. This is on her. You're not an asshole, don't hang out with anyone you don't want to. But you're going to lose your friend, so just know that. You are the asshole. You can walk away from the friendship 100% if that's what's right for you, do it, but you're being very assholish to this guy. First off, not everyone wants to get married, commit, and that's his choice as long as he has been upfront with her about his expectations. If she is staying with him after he has expressed this, whether it be because of religion or whatever, that's on her. You can express your feeling to her, but it's between them where the give and take is in their relationship. You said he was a rock for her. It sounds to me like he really cares for her. That does not have to equal any commitment. Don't project your bad experiences onto her relationship. If she doesn't have a problem with him, so long as he's not abusive, you shouldn't have a problem with him. Am I the asshole for rating an international student low on a group project, costing them a letter grade? So I'm in a graduate program at a university in the United States. Recently I took an accelerated course over the summer for my degree program. The course was mainly graded based on a group project that was due at the end of the class. We were randomly split up into groups of 4 students. One of my group members was a student from overseas. During the project, he would basically just sit and stare at his iPad and wouldn't really contribute. Anytime he did contribute, it was minimal, like suggesting a font change on the PowerPoint, but not actually helping make the PowerPoint. We had to redo all of his work because his English was so bad that it didn't make sense unless you knew what we were trying to say. So, all in all, he didn't contribute much, and was really quite a burden on the team. I want to stress that we tried multiple times to get him involved in a productive way and he would functionally just ignore us, or would put in minimal effort, see font changes, before going back to doing nothing. At the end of the project, we had a chance to rate the other group members on a rank scale. I rated my other 2 classmates a 100% and gave the group member in question a 70%. I explained why, quote for quote, as follows. X was not a great team member in that he contributed very little to discussion or the final product we were working towards. We made numerous attempts to engage with him and he rebuffed them all. His contributions when he would work were minimal and oftentimes had to be redone by fellow team members. He was non-responsive to group messages or emails, and arranging a time to meet with him was difficult. His contributions to conversation, when not limited, were outlandish and out of context for the project we were working on. Overall, I would not choose to work with X again. After the final grades came out, X messaged our group chat and asked what everyone had rated him on the review. The other 2 teammates said they had given everyone 100%. X replied, "Oh, guess sea salt body scrub rated me lower." I replied I had, because I felt he didn't contribute much, and outlined the reasons why. Long story short, X has filed a complaint against me with the University Dean of Diversity and Inclusion. He claims I discriminated against him for being foreign, Asian. I am not worried about the outcome of this meeting, but looking back I do wonder if a lot of the barriers were due to his language barrier itself. On one hand, being an international student is difficult and scary, and he might have had a hard time adjusting, so maybe I should have been more understanding? On the other, you need to pass English proficiency to attend school here, so he should be able to function just fine in class, making me believe he chose to be lazy and is just angry he got called out and penalized for it. My friends, classmates are split on this. Am I the asshole? Edit. I have removed the nationality of the student in question because some of y'all are disgusting racists and xenophobes that my university should be dealing with instead of cases like mine. Seriously, if you hate foreigners so much, talk to your therapist about it, not me. Not the asshole. From everything you've said it sounds like the 70% you gave him was very generous. Not the asshole. He expected the rest of the group to just do the work. That's on him. Even with a language barrier, if that's the case, he should have asked more questions if he didn't understand. Not the asshole. I'm a college professor. If one of my students wasn't doing the work, I would want to know. His accusation is totally false. All you have to say is what happened, and you can point to the work that you and your classmates did, and point to the little work that he did. That is, you can literally prove that he barely did anything. He's just lazy and now he's trying to get you in trouble to avoid consequences for his own bad behavior. Not the asshole. He didn't contribute and was a crappy group member, so you gave him the appropriate rating. He is the asshole for going around asking who graded him low. If he didn't know, it was private and he wasn't entitled to that info. Not the asshole. You rated him 70%, not 0%, which sounds more than fair for the little work he actually did. If you truly tried to communicate as much as you claim, then a language barrier is no excuse, as it would have been evident when speaking with him or could be explained to you, even briefly, by the student himself. The proficiency test leads me to believe such a severe language barrier is impossible in this situation. I would like more info on what had to be rewritten. If he wrote multiple pieces for you, then it sounds like he did more work than you claim. Not the asshole. If he has to pass a proficiency test to be able to attend the school, then he would have no problem communicating. Even if there was a bit of a language barrier or he wasn't comfortable with writing in English, he could have asked if he could dictate and someone else in the group write it out. He was given opportunities to contribute but declined. Not the asshole. Perhaps he had a language barrier, but even if that was the case, it was his responsibility to reach out to the group, the teacher, or the asshole to explain that he was struggling. If he didn't do so, you could reasonably expect that he would contribute on par with the rest of the group. He deserved a lower grade. Not the asshole. If he didn't do the work in the group, he shouldn't get a good grade. Your issue should be with the other people in your group who didn't have your back when you were honest about it instead of just giving him a pass.